is not only a great hearty soup, but it's also very good as a gravy. Now, this is one of the very few things in my book, or really in my life, that I will warm up. Once made, you put. This is the only way I do it. People say I warm my soup up in the dehydrator. Well, to warm your soup up in the dehydrator, by the time it was warm, the thing would be half spoiled. I mean, you only do that for things that you really want to dehydrate, not to warm up. You just put it in a little pot, warm it up. Just stand by it, keep stirring it, keep your finger in there. When it feels like a jacuzzi, it's ready to eat. Jacuzzi's 103, and that's quite warm. I especially like to serve this to non-raw food eaters. Of course, you always have to ask somebody, do you like mushrooms? Because some people hate them or won't eat them. And pick a cute cup, to serve it in. It's so simple. Oh, there's something I have to get from the fridge I forgot to get. Pardon me. What it is you make like basically a soup stock. Today's soup stock is almond butter and water. It's not the same really as almond milk, although you could use an almond milk too. And if you want to know more about soups, I have this very inexpensive ebook called The Little Book of Raw Soups. It's only $7. And what it explains to you is all the different bases, besides having many recipes, for a little bit ebook. It explains all the different stocks and bases you can start with, and then all the variations. So especially if you're a beginner and you don't want to make a big investment, go to rawgourmet.com. You'll find a little book of raw soups for $7. You'll also see that it's free, but with purchase of this. But if you're not ready to spend, $25, just pick up the little, soup booklet. And then if you decide to get this later, email me and I'll send you a different ebook instead for your freebie. So what I've got here is half a cup of water, and I've already put that in the blender. And then a quarter cup of almond butter. So we all know that there's 4 tablespoons in a quarter of a cup. And there's no recipe that's really that exact, so I'm not going to get all obsessive about measuring. This is rather a chunky almond butter, so I'm going to really blend it because I don't want a chunky soup. There's actually big chunks of almonds in here. How interesting. And, almonds are a big controversy right now because all raw almonds in California have either been pasteurized or fumigated. The California almond growers have been subjected for some sort of political reason to having to do that. It is still possible to get raw almonds, however, and raw almond butter. So I've got half a cup of water and a quarter cup of almond butter. If you don't have a high-speed blender such as this, which is a k-tec, or Vitamix, you want to at this point blend and get your stock going. And I can show you that, although the truth be known, it isn't necessary to do with this high-speed blender. And then the next ingredient is mushrooms. The way I wrote it in the book is 2 cups quartered mushrooms. And the reason I said it that way is because you don't know if you're going to get teeny tiny mushrooms or great big mushrooms, so I'm not really going to quarter them. But it was just to give you an idea of if you put chunks this size and measure 2 cups. I'm not going to measure because I know what it should look like and taste like, and I'm sure you won't measure either after you've made it once or twice. It's a great appetizer, but it's also quite filling. And actually, when you're serving it to company and you're serving other food along with it, don't put big bowls out. This is actually much too big, unless it was just the whole meal. Half a cup serving is plenty, because if you think about it, there's a tablespoon of almond butter in that half cup. So there's 2 tablespoons of almond butter in that half cup. So that's going to be very filling. That's high fat. And so if you give, say, your guest a cup and they're eating a quarter of a teaspoon of almond butter, and then they're having a salad with olive oil or something later, they're going to walk out of your house going, oh, raw food's awful, it makes me sick, because they'll be so overly full from all that fat. So just put in a little cup, like a teacup would be a great little china teacup you inherited from your grandma. And they'll be charmed, and they'll have something warm so they're not put off, and then hit them with the rest of the raw food menu. So I'm going to use a little bit of nama shoyu. And this is simply a salt substitute. Nama shoyu is supposedly a raw soy sauce. And it does have wheat in it, so if you can't eat wheat, find yourself a wheat-free tamari. Most tamari is wheat-free. Pinch of sea salt. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just zap it and go by taste. I believe that this recipe is also at my website under recipes. If you just go to rawgourmet.com, you'll see I have some recipes there. I'm always adding them. You can do this in a regular blender. You're just going to have to add the mushrooms a few at a time and blend and add and blend. Oh, that's nice and thick. Let's see if it tastes mushroomy enough yet. The taste of the almond butter is overpowering the mushroom taste, and that actually could change just by letting it sit for a minute. I'll add a few more mushrooms because I have them. Don't be stingy with your mushrooms. You know, for 1 cup, which serves 2 people, as I described, a half a cup each, you're going to need more than 1 little package of the normal box of mushrooms. Get at least 2 of those. You can use portobellos, the white button mushrooms, or the brown creminis. There's all kinds of mushrooms sold. There's this store called Amish in New York City, and there's this big, huge shelf, and I can't even believe, there's orange mushrooms and mushrooms that look like octopuses and stuff. But I'm not 100% sure that all mushrooms can be eaten raw. So, just stick on the safe side, unless you're a mushroom expert. You can use cremini, which are these brown ones, they're baby portobellos, or the white buttons. And I'm sure there's tons of it. I'm sure I've done it with shiitake and stuff, but just to be on the safe side, unless you know for sure you can eat the mushroom raw. Good to go. That's fine. Now you will notice this may not be the prettiest color in Olive Earth. And I remember when we did this recipe, when we were doing the photographs for the Raw Gourmet, my publisher complained about the color. He thought it was kind of icky. And, you know, this is all natural food, and food coloring just isn't part of the picture. So it's a mushroom color, and that's the way it goes. So it kind of is nice. This has some parsley and some chopped mushroom. I'm just going to throw some chopped mushroom on. You could put little red pepper bits, although I wouldn't put a lot because I don't think the taste of red pepper would particularly enhance this soup. And also this experiment, I mean, I would never put anything even like garlic in this soup because I think it would overpower. This is a kind of a bland soup, and people who like mushrooms love this soup. So here you go if you want to zoom in on this. This is Marvelous Mushroom Soup from Nomi Shannon, the Raw Gourmet. rawgourmet.com, yourrawfooddiet.com. Have a great raw day.